Well, here I'm standing in front of the comune of Motta da Fermo. This is in fact where I got my citizenship a few years ago. So now I have dual citizenship. It was a process. We'll share that with you in another video. But for now, so you know, the town here, comune, which is like village or town, the comune here, this building, this institution is like the city hall. And every one of these little towns has a mayor and so on. You know how many people actually are part of Motta, including everyone living in town, as well as in the countryside, which would include us, a total of about 650 people. That's it. So it's very quaint, very quiet. That's talking you hear in the background is a group of four elderly Sicilian gentlemen speaking in the local Sicilian dialect. Very amusing, very quaint, and just a very peaceful place to be. As you can see, the views are amazing and certainly priceless. Really, you can't put a price on these beautiful sea panoramas. So here we are at Casa Marina, and we are going to enter on the top floor. Incidentally, here's a little peekaboo of the view. Okay, back to business here. Okay, we're going to enter, it's the top floor, and I'm going to take you down 2 more levels. There's a total of 3 levels, and each level is about 30 square meters. And so you are looking at a total of 30 meters times 3 levels is 1,000 square feet. Okay. And so this is bedroom 1. Now you notice here the steps. Frankly, I would put a closet system under the steps of some sort, or storage anyway. There is moisture because these are stone walls. This home is at least 300, if not 400 years old. And so there are panels now that are impervious to water that can actually lay over these these damaged plaster walls, because you're not going to prevent all water intrusion from stone walls that are subterranean. And this right here is subterranean, okay? So we'll have to be careful. So here are the stairs that go down to the bottom floor. And so it's just 3 habitable levels. There's a closet there. I couldn't get it open, it's locked. But this bedroom is certainly adequate in size. And I want you to see the view that you have in store. And there's your Mediterranean view, rooftop, and if you can look in the background, you'll see some of the Aeolian Islands. So here's your first bedroom. The floor is in great shape. It's possibly the original and possibly manufactured locally here in Santo Stefano. So these steps were newer. You can tell they were poured more recently, and they just need to be covered with whatever finish you're going to use. And that's why you have this extra level here for your what they call massetto and then piastrella. So the mortar base or mortar bed, and then whatever finished tile you're going to use. Here is bedroom number 2. We've gone up 1 level. And by the way, I want to mention, beneath that last floor is a garage, the entire floor. So there's 4 levels of 30 square meters, but only 3 levels that are habitable. But at the very bottom level, for which there is an entrance separate. There's a garage adequate for one of the, little Fiat, and a cantina to store your olive oil, wine, and lemons, and so on. So, bedroom number 2, we came down those stairs. And again, nice size. It's exactly the size of the one below, but it's much brighter. And you know why? Here's your answer. Are you sitting down? How about that, huh? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Here's your village. So you have a nice balcony out here. It's not just doors. See, I want to show you that again. I want to make sure you see there's actually a balcony there. So picture putting a couple of bistro chairs and table out there. Now we're headed back up to the top floor. And true to form, we always save the best for last. So here you go. This floor has the bathroom, which obviously you're going to want to renovate, but it has all of your plumbing, and it's not going to require a tremendous amount of work. The walls are in good shape. I would replace all doors, interior and exterior, as well as all windows. Just make them more efficient. In fact, there are government programs give you tax breaks and all that for upping the energy saving class. So this kitchen is less than adequate and is going to require some attention, and that'll cost you a little bit, but I put in a new kitchen. You can get them inexpensively, a company called Mondo Convenienza, also IKEA. You can purchase kitchens very inexpensively that are complete. Look at your view outside your kitchen window. Now there's a fixed bug screen there, so it doesn't do the view justice, but I'll tell you what does. Look out here. Now first we're going to look down. This balcony is twice as deep as the last one we were on, so you can really eat here al fresco. This is facing northeast, okay? Here we go. Just take it all in. Just love it. Now, can you see in the distance the Aeolian Islands? From the left, Alicudi, then Filicudi, then Salina, and then you have to look real closely. There's Stromboli, Lipari, Panarea, and Vulcano. But look at the size of this balcony. Isn't that wonderful? If you had this home, I'm sure you would spend most of your time out there on that beautiful balcony. It's rare to see a balcony that deep in these older homes, okay? And then we're right back out to the entry. Just a couple steps down, and here we are. Well, it's certainly romantic living in a medieval village, but maybe your tastes run more modern. How about a brand new house? Casa Giovanni, not Giovanni, Giovanni, only 45,000 euros, and what you have here is a 1,500 square foot, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, kitchen, living room, and gorgeous roof terrace, not to mention the garage. And how about that view right from your own private roof terrace? It's facing the sea. Now, if you owned this land and you wanted to build new, to bring it to this point would cost you no less than 80,000 euros. I verified those numbers. That would be a minimum. So why is it so cheap? Because it's a distress sale. The family needs to sell it, and I convinced them they needed to drop their price for a quick sale. Now, the walls already have the tubes for water and electric in them, and they're ready to finish plaster. So imagine, including purchase price, if for 100,000 you could have a home personalized to your tastes. Well, we've descended the hill from the village of Motta da Fermo, and we are down by the sea. As a matter of fact, ciao Maria, ciao, ciao. Sto ricordando adesso. We are down by the sea. In fact, we can hear the waves. I'm looking at the sea right now, so I get the view. You have to look at me. But at any rate, some time ago, one of our neighbors approached me and he said he would like to sell his property. It's very, very close to Villa Pagliarazzi, where we live. Um, about 12 years ago, he had purchased this property. In fact, what you see behind me here, this ancient stone house. I wouldn't say ancient so much, it's probably about 150 years old, but the walls are in really good shape. It was never finished. He purchased it with his wife as their dream home, and he was going to retire here. Shortly thereafter, she got sick, and not much time after that, she passed. So he's been alone for 12 years, and this just brings back memories of his dreams that were never realized. So he told me he would like to sell the property, and this was probably 3 years ago, and I really couldn't help him. I didn't have any contacts. I didn't know. We certainly hadn't started this channel. At any rate, because of the explosive interest in properties, and particularly the fact that you enjoy seeing real good deals, a real upside potential, real hidden value, be it in location, be it in the view, be it in the better bones of a property, or just a really great price for what it is. We have a lot of interest in properties. As a matter of fact, we've, thank goodness, been able to actually help some families already, expats, come here and buy properties here in Sicily. And we'd like to continue doing that. So I want to tell you that he's not far from us at all. And this location is some kind of perfect. What you have here behind me is an old stone house with balcony, with roof terrazzo. The actual habitable space when completed is about 1,000 square feet or 90 square meters, okay? There is downstairs what could become a garage, but there is plenty, ample parking right here next to the house, behind a gate, in fact. And so I probably wouldn't even use the garage. The home as it is now is full of a bunch of things, an olive oil press and wine press that they actually use to stomp with their feet, a grape press. And it's you can't even really see in there. So at this point now, it is a stone structure that needs to be finished. There is, however, this beautiful roof terrace, which has the best possible view. As a matter of fact, you're looking directly at two of the Aeolian Islands right off the roof terrace. Could it get any better? I don't think so. And living here, having lived here now already for 4.5 years, I can assure you, I haven't seen it any better. It's absolutely paradisaic here. Now, uh, Nino would like to be able to get 75,000 euros for this property. Well, what does it include? You have the stone structure, which needs to be finished. Fortunately, there's no repairs that need to be done to the stone walls. It's in great shape. In fact, there's some new brick walls up above. So it's just finishing the structure off. How much would that cost? Well, if it were me, I'd want a budget of 50,000 euros to finish it off, no less. So you'd be into it at 75 in, about 125. But if you really want to bring it up to a really nice standard, and if you've seen what we think, how we think, with Villa Pagliarazzi, you understand that that's a nice standard of finishes. About 150,000 total you could have into it. It's well worth it. Now, you also have enough property. It would be technically about, it's 1,200 square meters. So you'd be looking at about 0.3 of an acre of land, which includes an olive orchard. Nino tells me he gets about 50 liters of extra virgin olive oil from his trees every year. He says you can pretty much count on that. So there's that. And then there's also room, nice level area here for a vegetable garden and in full sun. It really couldn't be better. There's really no land to have to maintain like we've got. And you're right in front of the sea. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, let's talk a little bit about access to the beach. Here, the local beaches are pebble beaches. That could be like this, or it could be like this. I'm looking right at it now. I'll show you some scenes here. There is a small, like a 4-car commuter train that passes periodically during the day between us and the beach. But there's something very unique about this spot. The train goes into a tunnel right here in front of the property. So you not only don't see it, you likely won't hear it. You'll hear the waves sooner than you'll hear the train. And a little hidden benefit to that is the fact that there's access to the beach there. You don't have to cross railroad tracks. You get to walk straight to the beach. So from here, you walk right to the beach. I don't know, 5-6 minutes, you're on the beach. And that's the same access that we use. This particular beach is what the locals use. The tourists, the outsiders, don't know anything about it. And they would not likely find it either. So that's a precious little secret right there. Now, how about access to the house? We are on here we'll call it the state highway, okay? It's the statale. And you might say, oh my goodness, you're in front of a highway? Whew, wow, it must be terribly annoying, First of all, the condition of the highway is absolutely great. They've just finished repaving it. And since we've been here, this is the second time we've seen them doing repaving. It really maintains the roads here very well. You get an occasional car or truck on the road. You do. Where we are, we're 100 meters above the road, so we hardly hear anything, ever. Here, you're, I don't know, maybe 50 meters above the road, and you might hear something, but it's rare, okay? With two exceptions. On Sunday, the Sicilians love riding their motorcycles on this road. It's like a corsa or a track, and it's a really fun road. It's a gorgeous coastal road, and so they love on Sundays bringing their motorcycles out. So you'll occasionally, throughout the day, hear a group of 3, 4, 5 motorcycles traveling down the road. Sometimes they think they're in a race. I don't know, but it looks fun. The other exception is that one Sunday in April every year, you ever heard of Tour de France? Well, this is Tour di Sicilia, an international bicycle race where they shut off the road, they close it down for 3 hours on that Sunday, And well, let's see, you could set up a couple lawn chairs here and just watch the whole race from your house. You can't go anywhere for 3 hours anyway, so you may as well enjoy. So that's about the long and the short of it. This property is not listed with an agency. This is just a private sale. If you are interested, contact us privately. We'll put the email address in the description so you can do that directly. Only if you're serious. If you just have inquiries, just comment. Just comment. We'd love to answer your questions. But if you're really a serious buyer, contact us directly. What we would do, since it's not an agency, we have a friend who's an English-speaking real estate attorney, and he'll draw up all the documents and make it all happen through a notario and everything. You're looking at about 5,000 euros in ancillary costs in addition to the purchase price that you negotiate. Hey, Pasquale, dici ciao, ciao.
Io non ti volevo disturbare.
No, no, va bene, sto ricordando, ma this is Pasquale, my neighbor here. He's just a peach of a guy. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Buon lavoro.
Okay, grazie. So he'd be your neighbor. He and his wife Maria are just absolutely the most wonderful couple. We love them. At any rate, I think I've remembered to tell you everything. She got an olive orchard, I believe a couple fruit trees, a place for a vegetable garden, and a view to die for. Okay, so we've just entered from the street side, and these doors are all chestnut wood. That's why they've lasted so long. So just take a look at this roof. The roof is actually in good sound shape. Now these beams this is the way it is. You know, even in the newer homes, they'll use these beams like this. But I think you can see that these walls are very sound. Now, one interesting note about this is that in fact, look in the distance. If you look closely, you can see Cefalu. Right there, world famous Cefalu, dead center. Isn't that beautiful? So originally, or I should say many years ago, the room downstairs was the schoolhouse. It was used as a schoolhouse, and there's still someone here whose grandfather went here for school. And look at this roof here. I just want you to see all that. He's been using this for storage for many years, and he just can't live here because it's, you know, it represents a broken dream. Now, here is where you would break through to the outside, to that terrazzo. That terrazzo is about, I don't know, with the balcony and everything, at least 400 square feet. Okay, and so we break through a doorway here. Otherwise, this is a beautiful room with these stone walls. Now, you might want to finish the ones that have plaster on them already instead of having to clean them and tuck point and all that. Just finish it with plaster. But then, like this back wall here, leave it exposed stone. Sandblast and then coat with a couple coats of clear, good quality clear acrylic on there. Oh man, that'd be real cute, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, got your windows here. You really don't need to poke any more holes for windows. By the way, this road here, I wanted to tell you about, that's the road coming up, and it needs paving. Well, I got news for you. The municipality's already contracted and started asphalting this road. They started at the top, so they will likely be completed by the end of this year. Incidentally, they were supposed to be completed by the end of last year, but that's Sicily for you. Now, here we are entering through what would be the garage doors, in this case, at present. By the way, there's this balcony up above, obviously needs some repair work, but it's not bad, okay? You're by the sea, that rust can be treated. There's a chemical that will just convert the rust, and there's no problem, so don't be concerned about that. I had the same issue with Pagliarazzi. Okay, so you enter through the garage here. Now, above is where we showed you inside there, and that was the schoolroom, okay? I just verified that. This was the frantoio, where they made olive oil. Now, the equipment's no longer here, unfortunately. But look at this archway here. Man, you want to keep that and exploit that. That's cute as heck, boy. Okay, so it's a big room. Might make a great bedroom. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, so much potential. So it was just left and nothing ever done with it, but there's really not a lot to do. That's why when I gave you those budget numbers, in total, between 125 and 150, I think you hit it out of the park. So now this is, even though it's in the country, it is adjacent to Maria and Pasquale's home, which they have been renovating and doing a nice job. They just put in new fixtures. By the way, you see this right here? That's what they tied their mule to when they came to bring their olives to the Frantoio. Just saying. Okay, now I saved the third room, which is the cutest. Are you ready for this? This room was the what they call the palmetto. Well, those of you who know the Italian culture know that there are two things that you absolutely must have. One is olive oil, and the other is wine. So here, and you've got the stone walls. As a matter of fact, there was an arch up in here. You see that? Now, so they remodeled whatever that was in there. That's kind of romantic, huh? And so they would get inside here, and this is where they would jump on the grapes and squish them and make the grape juice. And then it would come out of this little spout down here into the serbatoio down under these boards. For safety, they covered it up. Now, I'll tell you what I would do. I'd make this into the master bath. I'd put a big old spa. You could just basically place a fiberglass a self-contained spa inside that thing. I wouldn't touch that. Oh my goodness, the hand chiseled stones right there for your grape press. And then down in here, you could have another little bath just for a regular bath that you fill with, per use. Plenty more room for your other fixtures, toilet, bidet, sinks, cabinets. Then you got these doors here. Well, that needs to be glass. Bring all the natural light in that you can. So you basically have these three rooms. So you've got the palmetto for the wine. We just finished the frantoio for the olive oil. And then upstairs was a schoolroom. Could you ask for a cuter history for a house? And what a project this would make. Look at your view. Look at your property.
Hey guys, now look where we are now. My favorite part of living on this island would be the sea, the sound, the sky. But what about those properties? Weren't they beautiful? I mean, exquisite, the views.
Yeah, and they are incredible. We absolutely love. I don't know if you can see that fishing boat behind us over Gia's shoulder.
It's right there.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, this is our virtually private beach here, and of course, there's nobody here right now. We just like it that way.
Privacy is beautiful. You know, being around people, you have plenty of opportunities for that. And then you also have the opportunity to just be in solitude. There's a little something here for everyone,
relax
you
and
know?
be yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Well, if you are seriously shopping, great. Then we have something for you. If you think, oh, maybe I'll come out this summer and I'll start looking, kick a few tires, that's fine too. We're here to help. But if you are serious, and why do I insist on that? As old investors, we know that when you see a deal that is so good, you just plain grab it. If you're one of those type of people and you are interested in one of these three private sales that we featured on this video, reach out to us privately. We'll put the email address in the comments, and we can talk about your specific needs. Okay?
And for you dreamers, there's plenty to dream about, and there will be more upcoming. So keep staying tuned with us, and I guess we'll see you on the next video. But before that, if you like this video, please be sure to share it with your family and friends. And don't forget to comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you want to see more of, and also subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another video.
You know, some things just had to be said. You know? But we really do appreciate all you loyal viewers. We love our community. We love your comments. We respond to all of them. And we just, we want to know more what type of content you like to see. Like Gia said, if you're a dreamer, that's fine.
Dream on, baby.
Yeah, maybe we can help you to make that dream a reality someday. But in the meantime, if you're seriously shopping, that's I'll put on my investor hat, and we can help you there too. So till next time, see you in the next video.
Alla prossima.
Ciao.
Ciao.